Good morning, all the way from Missouri's Missouri Dental Hygiene Association. Our 60th birthday was this weekend, and we had some special guests coming in from all over the country. And today I have a surprise guest that we've been trying to get on the Molar Report for a while now, and she is super busy. She is doing her thing, and her schedule is crazy, so we decided we're going to wait and we're going to do this when we could actually meet in person. And we finally met in person, and she is just as wonderful in real life as I thought she would be. And hi, Sarah Clark. I'm going to be seeing you soon. Sarah's in Missouri too.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I won't see her.
well, now you know who our guest is. Because now you know that voice, right?
I'm sorry.
She's fantastic. So I want you guys to meet our guest today, and we're going to learn a little bit more about who is Jasmin Haley. All right, Jasmin, so I'm going to turn the camera around, and there she is, the queen sitting in a queen's throne. All right, girls, so thank you so much, one, for coming all the way to Missouri and speaking at our MDHA 60th birthday.
Yeah.
And then two, for meeting with me so early in the morning. I know we had some fun last night.
We
and
did.
It was hard to get up this morning, but we did it. And she's getting ready to go all the way home and see her loves. So we're trying to get this interview in, and she can be on her merry way.
Yes.
So, Jasmin,
Hey.
girl, tell me who you are. I want to know. Who's Jasmin? We know that you are doing your thing, but who is a real Jasmin Haley?
Wow. So I'm glad you didn't tell me the questions before. That is a deep question. Who is Jasmin? Jasmin is compassionate. I'm trying to think of some words here. An achiever, a lifelong learner, empowered, a wife, mother, sister, daughter, friend.
Yes, you are. Girl. You are all of those things. Those are great words to describe you.
Yeah.
What were you? Tell our viewers what you were speaking on while you were here in Missouri.
So, I actually had this was my first panel as a professional speaker, and I was with Michelle Strange from A Tale of Two Hygienists and Whitney, Teeth Talk Whitney from Teeth Talk Girl. So it was amazing because we were able to talk about social media, and we are all three different people. And our take on social media was completely different, but it was like succinct at the same time. So Whitney talked about her being like the fun side of it and going into YouTube and using her passions of acting and teeth. And then mine is always the one that is going to pull at the heartstrings. So of course I'm going to talk about like my why, my passion, and how social media kind of helped me get out of a dark place into one of light, and one of which I can get a chance to talk to you. Like, I'm so happy because I've kind of gotten out of that space. And then Michelle talked about her growth and what she's been able to do and her passion for research and the cons of social media and some etiquette that we need to be aware of when we're on social media. So it was kind of great to actually be considered a social media influencer. I'm still working on my Instagram game.
Girl, I am too.
I don't even think that I'll actually be like a mega Instagram story. Like, I've kind of given that up. But it's pretty cool to be included among those women and be asked to come and talk about that.
So you come to find out, you guys, you're all three very different, but you all have something in common and
Yes.
something that you could bond with.
Yes.
What was that?
There's two things. We were all dental assistants. Michelle and I actually became dental assistants in high school because of our training. And we all have come from a single parent household, single moms. And we were talking about that a little bit yesterday because growing up in a single parent household, it's interesting. You have to grow up a lot quicker than others. I've had responsibilities a lot sooner. Some of your childhood, I think, or your innocence is kind of taken away because you have to grow up and be able to help out in ways because there's lack of full support. So it's excellent to see the resiliency within each of us and kind of how that's molded us to make this impact that we're making now as adults.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you had met Michelle before,
Mm-hmm.
and this was the first time meeting Whitney.
My second time.
Your second time. Okay,
Yeah.
That girl is full of energy.
She is. I'm jealous of that.
Right? If you could just bottle it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But what do you think is the power in social media? Do you see power in social media? And because I know coming here this weekend, I met all of my friends, some of which for the first time. But I've been friends with you guys on social media, but I hadn't met you in real life. And then to meet you in real life and know that you're just as fantastic in person as you are on social media, because that's not always the case. And my life today is so much different than it was 3 years ago, just because of the steps that I've taken from the friends that I've made and the things that I've learned from the people that I've met on social media. So do you see the power, and what's the power that you see in social media and networking?
Oh, I'm trying not to sound sappy.
No, I love sappy.
But, it's interesting. The connection that I've been able to make and the support that I have and the friends that I've made in our profession through social media has been really remarkable. It really, really has. I think to be able to connect with so many people outside of where I live, being able to go to places outside of where I never really imagined. Because, like, when you grow up in New York City, the only place that exists is New York City, right?
I've never been to New York City. I don't know.
Oh, my gosh. Well, you'll see.
I'm going to go. I'm going to go in December, I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, and so being on social media, there are I'm going to talk about the good things, the positive things, not
good.
The negative.
Mm-hmm.
What's positive about it is meeting people like yourself and feeling inspired or getting that, yeah, you can do it. Like, all of that support and encouragement is important. There are people that say that it's superficial, and I do believe there are some layers of it that is that way, but the amazing people that I've met through it shows me that there's deeper layers to it also. Like, I just want to say, the necklace that I'm wearing right now was gifted to me from somebody that I met initially on social media and then in person. Her name is Jennifer Hash.
Oh, Jennifer.
And she gave it to me because of me receiving the Award of Distinction. And I've received other gifts from, like, Emily Bogie, Nancy Brohan, and just so many other incredible people that I met initially on social media.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
And we've just got a remarkable profession with the most caring and compassionate group of individuals that are out there. We know that there are some negative aspects of that, but I'm going to focus on the positive.
Awesome.
And so I'm just grateful. I'm extremely grateful for learning all that I have through social media, through podcasts, and just really coming out of my shell to meet amazing people like yourself and others. It's been great. My cup is full.
That's wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
And you, like you said, you won the Sunstar Award of Distinction.
Mm-hmm.
And so why did you win that? Tell us what you're doing. And another thing with social media and what you're doing, would you say that your business wouldn't be able to flourish as well if it wasn't for social media? I mean, has that helped your business?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Because all of my marketing is basically through social media. Tanya Lanthier from Dental Post posted something, and she showed a picture of her when she was at a table. And back then, social media was not here. So you actually had to physically come out of your house, go to these conferences everywhere just to get the message out there. So social media has helped me to grow because, one, as a mom genius, I cannot travel as frequently as I would like to. Although this last fourth quarter has been like a lot of sacrifice for myself and for my family. But I can't be gone every single weekend, 365. And so social media has helped with that aspect. So I am grateful to be able to use that. And so anyone that is in listening today, you need to understand whether in your clinical practice or outside of clinical practice, you are a brand. And you need to brand yourself immediately. Understand what that is. Understand what your why, your passion is. Take the time to learn that. And then leverage whatever skills you have to keep that passion going. Whether that may be blogging, like I first started out, or podcasting, whatever your heart's desire. Maybe it's knitting, making jewelry. I don't care. Go on YouTube and learn how to do that. Whatever it is, use the internet, use social media to really branch out, because it's a good resource.
Michelle Strange was saying that yesterday too, that they were using their own money. You know, it's not like they were getting paid to do A Tale of Two Hygienists, and that she didn't really want to spend a whole bunch of money on marketing, and so social media, that's how they grew. And so you got to leverage what you can, and social media is there and you might as well use it.
Yep.
So Jasmin, what are you doing? You're like, you have your hand in so many different things, but what's paying your bills, girl? What is it that you have got 2 podcasts, you are consulting, you're coaching, you're all over the place.
So, you know, I do want to speak on that, because what people don't tend to understand is that when you become an entrepreneur, you cannot have one stream of income. You just can't. So when it's hard for dental hygienists or dental professionals or dental assistants, and especially those who are used to having an employer, understand that you don't get a paycheck every 2 weeks that comes to you. So for me as an entrepreneur, I have to leverage my skills in multiple ways. So multiple ways could be working as an adjunct faculty, working as a consultant. And my consultant work is really my heart-centered work. It's not a lucrative position. It's working with patients who are clients that are living with HIV or Hep C, or they also may be at risk for that. That work, which was featured with the AOD, is what serves my passion, particularly. So a lot of the things that I'm doing, it looks like, oh my gosh, it's all this amazing stuff. But really, it's not what pays the bills. It's not. I mean, podcasting is not what pays the bills. A lot of everything that I've done has been putting my own money into it, or using other ways, like we sell t-shirts to kind of help with that, which, you know, maybe we'll sell one, you know, which doesn't really hold you up for too long. So there are things like the coaching and other things like that are starting to bring in, and Beyond the Prophy is growing, and I'm thankful for that. But Beyond the Prophy is built on faith, one, and love. I just posted about that. Love about what I'm doing, love of serving and helping other dental professionals, and then the community. Like all of y'all that are watching, and everyone that's a part of it, like everyone that's supporting that, all of you are a part of that growth. You guys are helping with that mission.
Because you didn't have all of this overnight, and that's what is hard for a lot of people. It's easy to look at somebody's life and be like, man, she's got it all. She is doing 100 things, and you know, she's probably driving a Jaguar, and
it's a Chevy.
That's what I drive too. And they don't see all the blood, sweat, and tears underneath of it. And you and I had a great conversation last night, a friendly conversation, I think. And one, it's hard to be an entrepreneur and by itself, but when you're a mom, and you're not just, if you fail, you're not just letting yourself down, but you feel like, as a mom, we put so much stress and pressure on ourselves, and you're not there with your babies right now. Last night, you didn't tuck them in. And I'm sure, I'm sure you have days that you're like, why am I doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's talk about that a little bit, because I think that people don't, they just think, oh, well, I can't do that, because I'm going to wait until my kids get older, or I can't do that. For some reason, it's easy to make excuses, but you're still doing it. You're not giving up. So tell us, what is your biggest difficulty, and what motivates you to keep going?
All right. So I think my biggest difficulty is dealing with mommy guilt, and understanding this process takes time. I think that's my challenge. That's the biggest challenge for me. So when it comes to like my children, I just want to give a shout out to my baby, because I couldn't do what I'm doing if I didn't have a very supportive spouse to help with that.
And happy birthday, right? Isn't it his birthday?
No, it's our anniversary
today. It's your anniversary. Yes,
yeah.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah.
Okay, so a big day still.
Yeah, it is. It is a huge day. So I can't wait to see him tonight. But, oh my goodness, I forgot the question, which is great.
This is why I love the way that Sarah and I interview people, because we're not going to edit this out later.
No.
Well, why it is hard as it is,
yeah.
And I know that you get
why do I keep going?
Why do you keep going? Yeah.
Why do I keep going? Because I love educating. I love seeing the transformation of my clients that I work with when I'm coaching them, and seeing them transform and feel empowered themselves. I'm reaching out for the Jasmines that I was 3 years ago, where I was just feeling like, is this it? I am miserable. I feel like I don't have any connection with anyone that is like-minded. That's who I'm reaching out to. So I think about the person that may be feeling like how I felt, and they just needed to get out of their own negative mind and see that there is something that you could truly enjoy and have a purpose with, whatever that may be. Mm-hmm. I think it's also motivated by the fact that my own mother wasn't able to pursue any of her passions because of how life circumstances happened. I was telling someone else, there were some things that she had said to me that really struck me, that made me realize that the experiences that I have are a true blessing. And I think if she had had that community of other women that were empowered to push her on, despite some of the intricacies of being a mother, she would have felt that fulfillment towards the end of her life. But yet there was a lot of regrets. And so I don't want to live with regrets. I want to help those other women. So you can be a stay-at-home mom and be able to help your children during this different phase of life, and still have a little side passion that you're working on. We lose our identity very quickly.
Yes, we do.
And that identity that I lost caused depression. Mm-hmm. Huge depression for me. And I'm still working through that, but it's better, And so I'm just looking for those people who have dealt with that and who want to have that sense of community because someone else did it for me. And so I thrive on helping and serving other professionals, but also helping the vulnerable populations that are out there that I'm very passionate about.
That's fantastic. And it's like, I said earlier, it's easy to look at somebody and feel like they have it all. And then that's what the Mueller Report really loves to do, is to dig deep and to find the true person within those people that you think have it all the answers, the perfect life. Because I am so much more likely to reach out to somebody for help when I feel like they're in it for the right reason, and that I know that they've gone through life, like mm-hmm. I have. Yeah. Because if somebody has it all together, I'm going to think, oh Lord, I am way too much of a hot mess for them to help me.
You know what? That reminds me of when you said, remember when I posted that video and I was like about to go on for
With your
ADHA or something,
Mm-hmm.
and my daughter was in the room like doing a mime, and I was like, get out. Like, I just walked in and I didn't even look at her because I literally had like 2 minutes before I had to go live. And she was like, Mommy, look, or whatever. And I was like, I just closed the curtain on her. I was like a hot mess. That was a true mommy moment.
It sure
and you
was.
told me that. It was like, thank God she's normal.
Yes.
Like, you told me that, and that was funny. You
I
know?
love that. I fell in love with you at that very moment. I was like, this is my girl right here, because I don't know how many times I've just like closed that curtain on my own children. Like, nope, Mama can't deal with you right now. And to know that you did that on live, like you were live, weren't you? Or at least it was a video.
My husband had pressed record. I asked him to come in, and my daughter was having like some crisis. The oldest one was having a crisis. And I was frustrated because I couldn't get the light to work for me. So I called my husband in. And when he came in, he put the video on and walked out. And Penelope, she saw that and she's doing all of that. I didn't know it was recording. So I'm like clicking it and just frustrated and trying to get on Facebook Live and wind up shutting it off. So after the Facebook Live, I go into my phone and I'm like, what is this video? And it was that. And all I could do was laugh. I'm like, why would you record this, Clarence?
It's so funny.
But it was funny. It was so funny. And it was real life.
You needed that too.
Yeah, I did.
You needed that at that moment.
Yeah.
So, what, for our viewers, the people who are going to be watching this, who are frustrated and they want to do something, they don't know what to do, what is it that you can do to help somebody? If somebody reached out to you and was like, Jasmin, I love you, you're adorable, yeah, I feel like I really relate to you, I just need help.
Yeah, so I'm going to suggest listening to the podcast.
Which one?
Beyond the Prophy. Mom Genius, of course, for the moms that are out there, but Beyond the Prophy is solely about building that confidence that you need and kind of that going through that self-discovery. That's free. It's free. It is free. Watching the Molo Report is free, okay? These are ways that we can be building ourselves up. And then I've created a membership site so that people can get weekly videos and empowering messages where it goes a little bit deeper than what we do with our podcasts. Because with a podcast, you just listen to it for like 20, 30 minutes, and then you're like, okay, well, what's next? Well, we can show you what steps could be next if you're trying to build confidence, if you're trying to discover your niche, if you're trying to figure out how to handle collaboration in a clinical setting. Like, all of those things is what we put into our membership site. And with the faculty that are there, they're willing to take time out of their busy schedule to share that. They're doing that, and they're making the information accessible to you so that you don't have to leave the house. Why do we have to all go to these expensive seminars? It's not cheap being able to travel and to get that motivation that we need in our profession. And then, of course, if you're ready for a step-by-step guide and you need someone to hold your hand, then I can coach you through that process.
And you're very encouraging, and you have so much knowledge, and I know that I know people who have used your knowledge, and you've really helped them. And so, guys, if you're looking for a coach, you're looking for the next step, Jasmin knows what she is doing, so reach out.
I don't want to put it. I want to put an addition to that. Remember we were talking about you don't always know the how, and then Jamie Dooley was talking about that just recently. We're all like in the process of a journey. It's just that we're at different phases.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know and understand the how. I'm going to use my experiences and the resources and the connections that I have to help you reach that. But say, for instance, we have a conversation and where you're going is not where I'm able to help. There's always somebody there that can help you get there. And that's okay. I still am discovering the how to my next level.
Yes, always.
And I've got to coach myself to help me for that next level.
I was telling somebody this morning that I remember being in a dark spot and thinking to myself,
why the hell can't I just Google what I'm supposed to do? I can Google everything else. But I feel like Jasmine is your Google, okay? She's not going to tell you what you need to do with yourself, but she's going to help give you those steps and guide you to the right place.
You're so sweet.
Jasmine is Google.
Oh my gosh.
That's so funny. Hashtag. Tell everybody how they can find you.
Oh, you can find me on beyondtheprophy.com. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram at Beyond the Prophy. And if you're interested in some of the antics we go through as moms, then check out Mom Genis, at Mom Genis on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay. All right. Does anybody have any quick questions for Jasmine? Otherwise, I'm going to let this girl get back home to her loves because she's got a flight to catch. Let's see. Jamie says she refers her clients to Jasmine all the time. Jamie Dooley.
She does. She's my referring partner. I love Jamie.
Yeah. Hey, Jamie.
What
hey,
she's
Susie.
able to do, what Jamie does is, I was just talking about Jamie.
Yeah, I know. And then she's like,
Fangirling. What she does is a gift. It's a true gift because that's another aspect. People don't realize that the personal and professional all interlinked. And if there's blockage. I've had conversations about my own blocks that I put in with Jamie, but we all have things that block us at different points of our life. And Jamie is able to help you discover that in a way that is very, very loving. I just love the way she talks when she talks to you.
Yeah, she is. She's fantastic. We are surrounded by a lot of awesome, empowering women and
and a few good men.
Oh yeah, there's a few good men out there.
Guy-genists.
yeah, there are. Can't leave them out.
Right.
But one thing that I have noticed in the past few years with my friends on social media is that I wouldn't be friends with my social media friends had I not, or you were the one that reached out to me. We didn't reach out to each other. So you have to get outside your comfort zone, and you see these people doing fantastic things, and you think, oh, they're probably not very approachable. But I am great friends with Kyle Isaacs. Mm-hmm. She is super approachable. She is a doll. Angie Stone, I see you on there, girl. Hey.
Oh my goodness, Angie.
She welcomed me into her home. I'm
jealous.
I was with Kyle, so I had an in.
Okay. Oh man.
The thing is, if you have to surround yourself with empowering people.
Oh, and the people that you named off, like Angie, one of my very first conversations I had with her, that was deep, was at Career Fusion, and I cried. I literally had shed, not an ugly cry, because I cry like an ugly cry. Like, you don't want to see that. Like, ooh, like sob like that. But she was really helping me to kind of figure out, because I was in that space of trying to understand, like, what direction do I go? I've got all this stuff going on. I'm a mom. At that time, I was involved with the state association. I was trying to figure out, like, I was in my master's program. I was trying to figure out, like, what direction I was going to go. And sometimes putting a pause when you are an achiever and an ambitious person, or letting some things go, is very difficult. And the reality check that you get from our friends that have dealt with those life experiences, I mean, you couldn't ask for more that could, really understand and help you. Absolutely. So, Angie, thank you for that.
Well, I know I need to let you go, but what is one thing that you, what's a key takeaway? Like, what's something that you want people to get out of this, and to be able to take with them, like, next week, following, every day? Just what's your favorite quote or something like that?
So the only thing that is on the top of my head right now is your only limit is you. I think that's important. And my question I always ask is, if 5 years from now, if you did not move or act towards that God-given inclination for whatever goal it is that you have, if you did not pursue it, would you regret it? And if the answer is yes, then you've got to give it a try. Whether or not you know what you're doing, I certainly didn't know what I was doing. I'm still figuring things out. But even if Beyond the Pro Fee 5 years from now is not here, I would be so thankful. This will be a total win with the experiences, the people I've met, and the lives I've been able to impact and change to some degree would have been worth it. And so I would say never allow yourself to limit, the possibilities that could be present if you're willing to accept it and work hard, be persistent, and live through your passion.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. This was fun.
This
was a hot seat, not the queen seat. This was a hot seat. I don't like being interviewed. I like to be the one that's asking questions.
Right. I like to be on this side of the camera. This is good.
Well, you're next.
Oh boy. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna let Jasmin go. But thanks so much for joining us, and until next time.